Welcome to the channel, guys. It's Nick at Talking Review. So I'm a big fan of martial art movies. So I thought, why not make a video? Which streaming service provides the best martial art movies? Amazon or Netflix? Enough of the chit chat. Let's get started. So let's kick it off with Amazon Prime. How can we not start a video with the OG himself, Bruce Lee? So the film they have is Fist of Fury. This was the second major film of Bruce's behind the big boss. In this film, Bruce seeks vengeance for the death of his teacher. And if you want to see Bruce in all his glory, taking on a dojo, kicking signs in a park, this is the film for you. Now we have a B-movie classic, King of the Kickboxers, starring Lauren Everden and Billy Blanks. So what you're going to get from King of the Kickboxers, you're going to get a bit of cheese, a bit of screaming, but some fantastic fighting. You will also witness some of the best kickers in the game. If you are into gaming, you will love this one. This is Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. This was originally a series and then they converted it into a movie. So the story in this film is based on Ryu and Ken. And what you get throughout this is you see them training, learning their skills, building their craft. And then throughout this movie, you will see some great fights. And there's one scene where I almost absolutely wet myself with excitement when Akuma come on the screen. The Karate Kid. What a film this is. So this isn't martial arts heavy, but this demonstrates the foundation of a martial art. How you train in it, the discipline, the respect. You have the awesome Mr. Miyagi. And there's so many memorable scenes throughout this film. Lionheart, aka AWOL, absent without leave for us UK folks. This one used to be one of my favourites when I was a young boy. I'd watch my VHS that had Kickboxer and AWOL on one tape, and I'd watch this every single day. So this is Jean-Claude Van Damme playing Leon Gautier. He escapes from the Legion, goes and looks for his brother's family, finds that his brother's dead, and then he goes on a path of street fighting. So you could see this as blood sport, but on the street. Close Range with Scott Adkins. This is directed by Isaac Florentine. Scott plays a character by the name of Colton McReady, and he's basically protecting his sister and his niece from a powerful drug cartel. And what you are given is Scott delivering some badass fight scenes. It's a low budget movie, but you know that Scott Adkins is going to deliver that martial arts entertainment. So next up we have Kung Fu Killer, starring Donnie Yen. This one isn't one of his best, but it's definitely worth a watch. So Donnie Yen plays a martial arts instructor that's in prison and is providing useful information to the police in exchange for his freedom. And this is when a killer is targeting retired martial arts experts and killing them off. You'll love the fight scenes in this film. Donnie doesn't hold back. He will always deliver the goods in terms of the fight scenes, but overall the story isn't great, but it's worth a watch for the fights. Under Siege. This was one of Steven Seagal's very first sort of blockbuster type of films, and he plays Casey Ryback. So he was a former Navy SEAL turned cook, and he's cooking on this ship when Tommy Lee Jones turns up, causes a riot. And this involves Steven Seagal breaking some arms, some legs, some heads. There's a standout scene in the film that involves a cake. Falcon Rising. So this is Michael Jai White, who plays a former Marine. He travels to Brazil to take down some brutal Japanese mobsters who have hurt his sister. As you can imagine, Michael is plowing through all of these gangsters. And make sure you look out for the awesome Lateef Crowder. Next up, Blade. So this isn't a martial arts film as such. It's obviously a comic book film, but it contains a lot of fights that have martial arts elements in them. So in this film, you'll see a few different martial arts styles used by Blade. This will be capoeira, a bit of taekwondo, a bit of vampire kondo, Overall, you're going to see some pretty awesome fights, especially the end scene. So the final one for Amazon that I'm going to recommend is Reborn, and this stars Tak Sakaguchi. He basically plays a covert soldier. The film starts out with a horror vibe, but then the martial arts kicks in. This one is very fantasy, so he dodges bullets, he takes on 100 people at the same time, and he does this in a really cool way, and the film overall is very entertaining. So that's what Amazon has to offer. Let's see if Netflix can do any better. So let's kick it off with the Raid 2. What a film. The fights in this film are insane. And if you watch the first one, you know what you're getting with the second film. Gareth Evans delivered a monstrous martial arts film, and just the end fight scene alone in the Raid 2 is worth your time. John Wick 3. I absolutely loved this film in the cinema. This is just non-stop, and John Wick is kicking ass all over the place. Throughout the film as well, you can see him demonstrating judo, jiu-jitsu. You got some of the guys from Raid 2 in this. You've also got the awesome Mart de Cascos as one of the villains. What else could you ask for? Triple threat. This was the Expendables, but the martial arts version. This was an absolute killer cast. You had Michael Jar White, Scott Adkins, Tony Jaa, Iko Uwais. The list just went on. If you want to see some of the best, go and watch this film. Next up, we have Avengement. This is Scott Adkins, and he plays a character called Kane. And this, I'd probably say, is one of Scott Adkins' best films. It's not, again, martial arts heavy. The fights in this is nothing fancy. This is just brutal violence, and it's done in a way that is very graphic. If you love the character that Scott played, Boyka, you're gonna love Kane in Avengement. This is a British gangster flick with some martial arts flair. Next up, we have Ip Man 3 with Donnie Yen. The Ip Man franchise is fantastic, and I'd probably say for me, this one was one of the weaker ones out of all of the films. And it's always awesome to watch Donnie Yen beat people up using Wing Chun. And if you didn't know, Mike Tyson makes an appearance in this film. Bloodsport. This was the film that catapulted Jean-Claude Van Damme to stardom. You're going to see Van Damme at some of his best. Muscles, splits, buttocks, and some of the cleanest 360 kicks that you'll ever see on screen. You'll also get treated to a little booby dance from Bolo. The Night Comes for Us. This one starred Joe Taslim, and it had Iko Uwais as the villain, and he's absolutely scary. Joe Taslim does awesome as the lead, and the fights in this film are insane. You've probably got one of the best female on female fights, and the end fight with Joe and Iko is definitely one to watch. The Karate Kid pops back up. Next up, Enter the Dragon. This was Bruce Lee's final big picture film, and is one of his most loved by the fans. You're going to be treated to Bruce Lee at his peak physical condition. The fights in this are awesome. You'll see some ferocious power. You'll see him using his nunchuckers, sticks. So next up we have Headshot. This stars again Iko Uwais. So he plays a man who's suffering from amnesia. He wakes up and basically his past sort of haunts him. Similar to The Raid, this is an Indonesian film, and as you can expect, lots of fantastic fight scenes, again setting the standard and doing some stuff that you wouldn't see in any other Hollywood film. The Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. This is with Jason Scott Lee. I absolutely love this film, just from the soundtrack to the feel of the film. Yes, it's a very fantasy in terms of Bruce Lee's sort of life. You've got the demon that keeps popping up, that's supposedly gonna take Bruce away. But I love the journey that the film takes throughout Bruce's career and life, and really shows what a bigger than life character he was. There's just so many cool scenes in that film. It would be hard not to like this film. So there are your films. Amazon versus Netflix. Which streaming service has the best martial art movies? Drop a comment down below. Who wins this? Netflix or Amazon Prime? So I'm going to do another one of these videos, a Netflix versus Amazon Prime, and this is going to be on horror movies. So if you haven't done so already, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We've got a great live that we do on a Friday or Sunday, and we've got some awesome content on the way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.